What do people think makes them look cool, but actually makes them look like a douchebag?
The line between joking and bullying can be a thin one, and a lot of douchebags either don't see it or they just don't care.
Blasting music in public transportation without headphones.
Picking on someone in a group and trying to get everyone else to laugh at them. Not in a hey, everyone's joking around kind of way, in a being a nasty piece of work and embarrassing the person kind of way. People like this suck.
Supporting a celebrity that doesn't give a shish tea about your existence online to the extent of bullying and name-calling people who don't worship that celebrity.
Vandalizing rocks, trees, etc. in parks and nature preserves. It takes you out of the experience when you're scanning a gorgeous landscape and your eyes land on Butthead plus Ding Dong Forever in bright colors.
It's just a prank, bro. It's just a prank, said by every douche about to get their ass kicked because they pushed too far.
Picking on weird kids.
Gatekeeping a music artist like they discovered them and are the whole reason for their success. Don't get me wrong, support the artist, but don't be that asshole that determines who is worthy of a common trend.
Failing school does not inherently make you a douchebag, but bragging about it as if it's something that is cool isn't the best presentation of character either.
Gatekeeping a fandom or hobby. You aren't a real fan of XYZ band if you started listening to them after this album. You're not a real beer drinker if you don't like IPAs.
The ones who don't know how to get attention, so they start gossiping about everyone. And I'm like, I know your life is not interesting, but please have some respect for others and for yourself.
I have a coworker who has the gift of gab, and is very proud of his ability to give people false assurances while being extremely vague, essentially just bombarding them with words until they're satisfied. It's a useful trick, I suppose, but when you hear him do it in real time, you realize he's just a very good liar.
Being an asshole to other people to boost your own ego.
Pretending to know, or be something when actually having no idea.
Being mean to serving staff.
Handing a homeless guy a $10 bill and posting it on YouTube.
Endlessly talking and bragging about their private lives. Example: I had a real dick of a boss who once said, "Man, it wasn't yesterday I got laid with that woman after a customer left," which made me and my colleagues somewhat uncomfortable. He also talked about how his wife better show those TTs for everything he does. I'm not interested, and I think it is super trashy to talk like that. Edit: he isn't my boss anymore.
People who tease guys for drinking girly drinks. If a guy wants to drink a strawberry daiquiri, let him drink it in peace. You know what is manly? Drinking whatever the beep you want without giving a beep what people think. Edit: thanks for the awards, people. Tons of manly energy in this thread.
This is very specific, but I once knew a bloke who, though he was cool for not liking Game of Thrones, which is fine, but would then post spoilers of it on social media along the lines of, "I don't watch or care about Game of Thrones, but X died in the most recent episode, unlucky if you saw this." I fell victim of it once and I literally thought my blood was boiling. I was so angry. The lesson here is probably to stay off social media before you've seen the most recent episode of a show you love. But still, beat that guy.
Using a cell phone in public on speaker. Edit: didn't expect this to blow up. Get a headset. Personally, I find this practice about as acceptable as farting in a crowded elevator.
Judging another person for their interests even if the other person's interests don't affect or hurt anyone else. The other day I had an acquaintance tell me how a friend of mine who likes to collect Funko Pops must be such a virgin even though the guy is literally married with a kid on the way.
Driving around residential areas too fast in cars with really loud engines and those exhausts that go bang 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 all the time. They look like nothing other than inconsiderate assholes.
Teachers who are proud of many of their students not passing. If I ever get a teacher like that, maybe I should ask why they are proud for being a bad teacher.
That whole, I don't give a beep attitude online where people just hate everyone and be super edgy, it doesn't make you look cool, just makes you look like a dick.
Doing something nice for someone and videotaping it for clout.
So in many schools due to COVID we can't leave the classroom during the break and my classmates beep love to make watch TikToks on full beep blast. They have been doing it for the last beep year.
Sharing their trash taste in music out loud on public transportation.
Declaring themselves to an alpha male, high-value women or anything like that. It screams immaturity and lack of self-awareness.
I've had dates who were dismissive, slightly rude to servers, and it was a huge turn off.
Undermining a person every time they try to talk. My ex did this to me, and the amount of confidence I've lost is terrible. Still recovering after 3 years. Teasing someone when they gather guts to talk in a group and then laughing is useless. Cannot explain how badly it hurts. Edit. Thank you all for the lovely comments. I appreciate each one of you.
Putting an insanely loud exhaust on a beep car and then accelerating to rev max on a 200-meter stretch of road before having to brake because otherwise you crash into the car in front of you, while listening to some beep hardcore or hardstyle music at a volume otherwise only experienced at festivals.
Also judging people for their music choices. Like when someone goes through your iPod, Spotify, whatever, and is all you listen to this, then proceeds to tell you about the super edgy music they listen to that no one really knows yet. Rolling eyes face, rolling eyes face.
Posing as being brutally honest. Constantly invalidating others is not cool and speaks of your inability to feel validated by anything other than people.
People who say anything they want, insults, racist slurs, pure meanness, and then when they get called on it, say it was just a joke.
Constantly telling people about the women they've slept with or were otherwise involved with. I knew a guy like this in college. He was one of the most obnoxious dudes I've known.
Revving your engines and blasting beep music through a city neighborhood regardless of the time. I live in Jersey City and this happens quite often. You don't look cool.
Driving expensive cars and cutting people off.
Your loud-ass pickup truck with no muffler. We get it, you vape.
Calling themselves alpha or type A, it's almost like it's code for massive prick.
Acting like they don't care about anything. Like sure it was cool in the early 2000s, but now when I see a dude acting like he's too cool to like movies, or games, or hanging out, it's just so cringy. Like bro, you're not special for saying you don't like anything. And I don't mean introverts, like myself, who genuinely don't want to do stuff sometimes. I mean more the dude who will agree to hang out, and then the whole time is just complaints and, this is so lame.
Being proud of their own ignorance. It's okay to not be smart. It's not okay to be proud of it. Edit. So to clarify, it's okay to be wrong as long as you're willing to admit it. It's okay to not be naturally intelligent. It's okay to not know everything. What is not okay, is being willfully ignorant and or stubbornly clinging to patently false information.
Having a phone conversation on speakerphone with the volume turned all the way up. Hate those people.
When people film themselves giving money or food to the homeless. Ultimate douchebag, or they just want to brag about it and don't care.
People who flaunt brag about their expensive car. Especially the ones whose parents bought it for them.
Spitting in public or indoors. This happens in my school, it's disgusting.
People who are dicks to other people for no reason.
I saw a truck yesterday with a sticker that said, "My other ride is a redhead." So that.
Cars that make a lot of noise and just need a muffler.
People who think consuming certain media makes them as a person better. For example, some people think as long as they listen to loud rap music in public, people will think they are cool.
Keyboard warriors who are actually scaredy cats in real life.
Judging people who dress differently to them.
Being proud of not reading a book since high school.
Really beep loud cars driving after midnight.
Bragging how many people you've slept with. Bonus for referring to them as body count.
Being condescending to waitstaff and other service people.
Bragging about their sex love life.
Racing, speeding loudly down a street. Whenever someone goes roaring by, everyone on the sidewalk collectively shakes their heads and says, "What a douchebag," like clockwork, haha.
Bragging about not having a TV. Great. You are so much more cultured than me.
May your day be filled with joy and happiness. And please remember to subscribe to Upvote for the best quality content every day.